We are facing a global crisis of forced migration, and the implications of that for the 55-60 million people who are forcibly displaced as refugees or internally displaced people, the implications for their protection are significant, and they are a major global challenge. At the present time, many of these people, particularly those who are not recognised as refugees, those who are undocumented, both within their countries of origin and their regions of origin, in the Middle East, the Horn of Africa, parts of West Africa, Central African Republic, the crises are large scale, the impacts at the human scale are significant. Many of these people do not have effective protection of their rights, their livelihoods, and even their lives. The implications for Europe are particularly significant because without effective protection in the regions and the countries of origin, many of the refugees see no alternative to protect themselves, their families and their livelihoods, but to move out of these regions and seek asylum and protection in Europe. But clearly, both within Europe and globally, the protection system is failing them. What are the remedies to this situation? Clearly, we need to rethink the major fundamentals of the 1951 Geneva Convention of Refugees and the 67 Protocol, as well as the protection machinery in the countries and regions of origin. We have to look at much more effective programs of resettling substantial numbers of refugees from the regions that are most heavily impacted by their presence. I'm thinking here of countries like Turkey, Jordan and Lebanon, who carry the main burden of the Syrian refugee crisis. We have to think of opening up the avenues for humanitarian protection. We have to think of developing long-term strategies for the refugees, well over 3 million now, just from Syria, who remain in the region. What are their long-term developmental opportunities in their host countries? They cannot be kept permanently in some kind of transitory situation. But above all, we have to recognise that refugees are one part of a global phenomenon of migration, of people on the move globally. We have to look at opening up and making more effective the channels for regular migration, for migrants who are documented, migrants who are seeking economic opportunities globally. Because unless we begin to open up those channels, then many people will seek to abuse the effective protection machinery of refugees, because this is the only opportunity they have to move out of the regions in which they live, where their own life chances are very limited, highly constrained, and they themselves may in fact be very marginalised communities.